Hello everyone, it's Benny, and welcome to the final video in the Wolfenstein 3D clone tutorial series. This is the video where we're going to wrap everything up, and we're going to finish, and we're going to have a big working game at the end of this. So let's just jump right on in. Okay, so our next goal is going to be actually having monsters and players in the level rather than just hard-coded. So let's go to game, and let's change a few things. First off, let's comment out the player. We don't want any player nonsense. We're going to have the player in the level, so we're going to get rid of that, we're going to get rid of that, and, I'm going to go ahead and have a getter here, so public player get player, which is going to just return player. That way I can go into game, and I can just say, well, level.getPlayer, so I can still do this. And, I don't need to pass in player anymore, because it doesn't need that. And with that, we've got at least that part done. I don't want to add the monster by default anymore, and that means I can get rid of temporary transform and whatnot. I'll just comment it out for now. And I believe that's everything I'm going to need to actually start doing this. So let's go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, maybe not all the way down, but at least to this point. Add special. So now I'm going to add one for if blue value is equal to 1. Actually, yeah. 1. Yeah, okay, 1. And this is just going to set player to new player. Actually, what does my constructor look like? Takes in excellent vector 3F position, exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to pass in a position. Is going to be at the X position on X, nothing, and Y for Z because it's on the XZ plane, but not quite actually, because I actually want this to be X plus 0.5. This way he starts in the center of the tile rather than at the corner, and Y plus 0.5. And of course I'm going to multiply this by spot width, and I'm going to multiply this by spot length. So now this should cannot be applied to double. Oh, wait. I know what I'm doing now. Make those floats. Whoops, don't duplicate it. And now we should be able to put a player in the level. So, and while I'm at it, let's go ahead and do monsters. So if blue value equals 128, then I want to do almost the same thing, except I want to do monsters dot add. It's going to take in a new monster, which I believe takes in similar parameters. I'm sorry, I don't have all the parameters memorized. Yes, it takes in a transform. But here's my question. Under transform, is there a constructor which just takes in... No, there is not. Okay. Never mind. So in this case, I'm actually going to, well, spread this out a bit. Actually, I've got an idea. I'll transform... No. Never mind. Never mind. Gonna have some transform. Monster transform. That's gonna be a new transform. There. And this way, I can set monster transform to the position, which is going to be pretty much the exact same thing. I want it to be in the center. Whoops. I want it to be in the center with spot width and spot length taken into account. And there, now I should be able to create a new monster taking in the monster transform. Good. Now, let's go down to the image editor of your choice. And I can minimize that. And let's actually edit the image. Let's add in a player. Let's add in a monster. So, let's see. Let's take the color pick tool. I'm going to pick, this color. Change this to the pencil tool. And I'm going to, whoops, cancel. I'm going to change this so that the blue value, rather than being 255, is going to be 1. This is going to be our player. And I also want to change the size so it's not, ridiculous. So let's decrease this just a little bit to 1 there. So now there. That should be the player. We should be able to enter the level, assuming I save this as PNG. Okay, or maybe I have to export it. Never mind, okay then. Let's export this as level 1.png. Yes. And that's fine. Export. Good. We should have a player. We should be able to run with the player in the position we loaded it in. So let's run. Let's see what happens. This could crash horribly. But no. Oh my. Okay, not quite what I intended. Level with the ground, not what I was going for. Let's try again. First off, let me make sure I didn't do this with monster as well. So, yeah. No need to worry about it with monster, but with player, that's not going to work. So let's go down not quite all the way. Whoops. It's right here. Let's make that the same thing we had the in-game, which was 0.43, whoops. Okay, let's just copy, not cut. 0.4375 as the Y value. Now we should be able to run. Okay, cool. It's almost the same though, but it's working. So actually let's go back down and let's undo that. Let's make the player start all the way over here. Actually, yeah. And let's add a monster. Where should we put... Well, yeah, first off... Okay, let's just do the process. Let's sample here. And let's change this. The blue value for monster is 128, so let's change that to 128. Let's just sprinkle a couple monsters all around the place. So one here, like we had before. Let's add one in the hallway here. And one in each of the rooms. There. And now let's just file export to level 1.png. Go ahead and replace. See, that's fine. And let's run. Okay, we're starting a completely new location. And oh, we got a monster. Let's gun him down. He's not dying. Doesn't look like he's even seeing us. Why am I not hitting the monster? There we go. Okay, that was interesting. Let's kill this guy. There we go. Getting a little low on health. That should be fine. Okay, so now this area's empty. I should have monsters in there. They haven't seen me yet. Good, so my C code is at least working. Not sure why that part didn't work. Oh well. Maybe I have some really subtle bug that I'm not aware of. Oh, ah. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to create a medkit. Something that heals the player a little bit. So let's go ahead and create a new class. I'm going to call it medkit. And yes, I do want to add this to Git. Now, this is going to be a lot like the monster. So let's go to player. Whoa, it's going to be like the player too. Well, sort of, not really. You'll see what I mean. It's going to have a mesh, that's what I'm saying. It's going to have a mesh, it's going to have all that stuff, so yeah. Public medkit taking in, yeah, some vector 3f position there. And I'm going to have some private static mesh. And just like player, it's going to have a render method, which does pretty much exactly the same thing. It's going to bind the, whoops. It's going to bind the transform and everything. We're going to have a transform and material. So yeah, just the same paradigm we've been doing the whole series, which again should probably be done a little better, but oh well. So transform. And transform is in transform and transform dot set translation to position. There. Now we have a medkit. But well, not really. We still have quite a few things to do. First off, we need a material. So great. And now, actually, let's make this static, because it's going to be the same for all medkits. There. So now, I'm going to do the same check here. If material is null, then I'm going to create a new one. So, material will equal a new material with just taking a texture, just like every other thing we've done, just like the player, just like the monster, well, just like the player's gun, I should say. And the texture is media0.png. If you don't believe me, go down here, look in here, and where is it? Look at that. media0.png. So, wonderful. Now we've got material. Now that we have that, we should be able to at least draw it, but it shouldn't actually do anything. So, in fact, let's do that. Let's add it to the level. Let's add yet another array list of objects. Hopefully you're starting to see a little bit of a trend here. If not, that's fine, I suppose. I'll make it very explicit in the 3D Game Engine series when we get back to this. I have an array list of medkit called medkits. And just like with the monsters, I'm going to go for every medkit in medkits, medkit.render. There. And just like here, I'm going to go ahead and do medkit.update, which doesn't exist yet, but that's fine. I can add a very basic empty method here. Public void update. Oh, and I almost forgot all the constants. Silly me. Let's go to monster. I'll copy the constants that should I'll look at the constants that they should actually be later. Just not right now. And offset and whatnot, I'll just copy again for monster. There. Whew. So we have all those ridiculous constants set up. Oh, and I can get rid of that, I don't need it. And with that, we should be able to get... yeah. We should be able to actually add medkits to the level. So let's... whoops. The update's already done there, but let's go all the way to add special. And... oh, I can get rid of this comment now. I want to say if blue value is 192, that'll be the code for the medkit. If there is, medkits dot... oh, I almost forgot. And here, medkits is a new array list of medkit. There. So, now here, I'm going to add a new medkit, just like with everything before, and just like all those before, it's going to be with its own special transform. And there, now I should have medkits. So, let's go to the level. Let's add some medkits. Make sure this actually, works. So let's sample, change the blue value to 192, and let's sprinkle a couple medkits all over the place. Let's have a couple medkits here, have a medkit in every room. Let's just put medkits everywhere. And there. So now, I'm going to export use a hotkey this time, to level 1, replace, it's fine. And now let's test. This should look ridiculous, but it should be interesting at the very least. Okay, there it is. So we got medkits. Always face the player, just like I did with the gun, just like with the monster. Same old code. So yeah. I know this needs to be refactored, but that's the whole point of this, is to see where things aren't working, what we need to be refactored. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I was wondering where that was. So there. I'm going to put this in the update method. So there. Now we're using the update for something. It's going to change this to transform rather than gun transform. There. Now we should have medkits that, well, actually, yeah, they actually look towards the player a little bit. So cool. We've got them looking towards the player all the time, just like sprites. But I still need to actually pick them up and actually heal them. And that's actually going to be the easiest part. Now that we've done all the copy pasting and whatnot, it's going to be pretty simple to actually, use the medkit. Do stuff. Make it actually work. So here's the logic. I'm going to create some constant called pickup distance. I'll set that to 0.5f. And here's how I'm going to do it. Very simple. If direction to camera, because this is just the distance, I'm going to take the length, that's the distance, and that is less than pickup distance. Then I'm going to heal the player. And for now, I'll just say game.getLevel.getPlayer.damage by negative, and I'm going to create constant again. Public static final float heal amount, which I'll say is 25. Negative heal amount. And actually, oh right, whoops, make this an int. And I'm actually going to do a check here. So first off, I'm going to make a player is equal to game.getLevel.getPlayer, just so I don't have to type this every single time. And I'm going to say if player dot. Oh, I don't have a variable for that. Well, let's add a method. Where am I doing my getters and setters? Okay, I have this here. I'll do it here. I'll say public int get health. And I'll just return our current health. And, yeah, why not? Public int get max health. Return max health. I don't necessarily need that, but I just want to do it anyways. So if player.getHealth is less than player.getMax health, then and only then will we damage by the negative heal amount. Cool. That's it. That's all the logic. It was a little tricky since we didn't have a few of the methods, but it should be fine. Now, I have Medkit, and it shouldn't do anything right now, but if I go over here, get hurt by the monster. There we go. Got hurt a little when I was hitting him. And now, if I go over it, I get healed. Doesn't remove it from the level, so yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to do everything, and then once I've got all the logic, then I'll look at the constants that should be for the size. And then, yeah. Sure, game.getLevel.remove medkit this. And level, well, yeah. It doesn't particularly matter where I put it, so I'll just put it here. So public void remove medkit, taking in some medkit. And it's going to just do exactly what it says. It's going to remove it. I don't know if I did this in some other place in this video series, but because I'm doing this over an array list, what I'm actually going to have to do is I'm going to have to have another array list called of medkit called medkits to remove. Whoops. Just so I'm not modifying them at the same time. And say medkits to remove. Add the medkit to that list. And then where is it? Good lord, so much code in here. There we go, an update. And then here, for each medkit in medkits to remove, medkits.remove the medkit. So there, we're just going to add it to the list, and then once all the updating is done, then we're going to go through every medkit we've added to this list of medkits to remove, and remove them. So now the medkits shouldn't be permanent. They should actually... Oh crap, I forgot to instantiate it. This is not going to end well. Yeah. Yeah, make sure to actually, create instances of your array lists. So yeah, that's a new array list of medkits. And yeah. Now let's try that. It should work a little bit better this time. Okay, we got a medkit. Shouldn't do anything. Oh. Whoops. Well, at least it removes, but actually I only want to remove it when the player gets healed by it. So, there. That's a little bit better. Let's try that again. Now. Should walk over it. Nothing happens. Go over here. Shoot the Nazi. Oh. Killed him before he hit me. Okay. Let's go over to this guy. Hit me. Why doesn't he see me? That's weird. He saw me just fine when I... Whoops. Oh, I should probably kill him now. That's weird they didn't see me. He saw me over there the last time. Well, anyways. So yeah, now if I walk over medkits, I pick them up and they heal me. That's probably some bug. I'll go look into that later. Excellent. Now, with that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and look at... You know what, why not? I'll just go over here, look in Medkit, and see what the ratio is. Okay, the ratio looked Like this, apparently. Okay. Interesting. So, yeah. Size is going to be 0.4, and the constant is apparently going to be this. Whoops, dagnabbit. I copied instead of pasted. Let's try that again. Copy. And paste for real this time. There. Now everything should look right. If not, I can always adjust it. Okay, cool, we got medkits. Working just fine. There, got that guy, I can kill him. And excellent. So, with that, I'm actually going to have a little look and see if there actually is some issue with the monster logic, with them not seeing us because they're being generated in the level and whatnot. And I'll be right back. Okay, I think I found what the issue is. It was in the vector2f, not collision vector, the player intersect vector. The thing was, we were performing a full-on intersection check to see if we saw the player when we looked in the direction of the player. The thing is, we should always see the player if we look in the direction of the player, so that check is unnecessary. And based on seeing the debug outputs, and when it saw it in the player and when it didn't, what appears to be happening is once you get really, really close to being like on an even number in the grid, it seems like it just rounds off and there's a floating point precision error there, and that's why it would sometimes not see the player. That's what I think was happening. So, once I just set it to the actual player's position, because we should always see the player when we look in the direction of the player, things work a lot smoother. I can run. I still have my little debug thing set up. That's actually displaying the level based on what the, what's it called? Based on what all of the collision positions are. So, yeah, the collision mesh is being generated correctly. That's what it looks like when you actually, draw it. And now if I go back to the level, like it should be, the monster sees us right as soon as he gets us, just like he should, and we can shoot him, gun him down, and everything works out nicely. And all other monsters should be seeing us fine just the same. So now, he saw us peeking in front of the corner. We can shoot him down just like before. No messy, hey, we can see him but we can't really see him things. Get this guy. Come on. There we go. Alright, cool. It looks to me like we've got just about everything done. I haven't even got hit yet. Jeez, have I just made it so he's not even shooting me anymore? Did that affect something I wasn't aware of? Oh no, he's shooting us. He's shooting us. Whoops. Okay. And I should be able to get health again with medkits. There we go. So once I get really close to them, I can pick them up and get healed. Wow. We are pretty much done at this point, folks. So, in fact, I'm going to actually double-check the monster to make sure really something isn't happening that's weird. Under attack. Nope, nothing weird happening. Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to... Okay, apparently I don't have it open. I'm going to open a new window then. And I'm going to go to my project. And I'm going to go to my resources and bitmaps. Now, okay, or it can load forever. There we go. I'm going to rename this to level test, I guess. And I'm going to paste. Now these are the 3 levels I created for my Wolfenstein 3D demo. So now we should be able to load and run all of these. And I'll put these on GitHub so you can download them. And excellent. So let's see what happens. This should put us in level 1 of the Wolfenstein 3D levels that I put together way back then. Hey, look at this. Here we are. We got monsters. We're in the Wolf 3D level. We're shooting them down. Look at this. And our texturing work is working fine. Our health's working fine. Look at this. Our thing is working like a charm. There's really only one more thing to do. Other than like bonus stuff like, let's add audio just because we can. Because, we're going to cover that type of stuff in the 3D Engine series. I don't see why we should bog this series down with implementing really rudimentary versions when we're just going to do it later in that series anyways. But the thing we still need to do, exit. We can't go from one level to another. So that is going to be our next task. But look at this, we can load levels from, well, the little demo I set up. Okay, so to load the level, first off, I'm going to need to add another way of actually detecting level points. So I'm going to go to, oh, wrong class. I'm going to go to level. I'm going to go to add special one last time. This time I'm going to detect if blue value is 97. That's the value I chose for exit points. So if it's 97, then I'm going to go to right up here. I'm going to have a new vector, well, new array list of vector 3fs. And this is going to be all of the exit points. These are going to be all the possible places we can exit a level. And of course, it doesn't matter. I can initialize it here. New array list of vector 3f. There. And whoops. And all I'm going to do in this method right here is say, whoops, exit points. I'm just going to add the point. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to add it. I'm not going to add anything fancy, not going to add a whole class for this, just going to add it. And what I'm going to do is an open doors. Where is it? So much stuff in this class, good lord. Okay, open doors. I'm going to have another parameter to this called boolean. Okay, boolean try exit level. There. And if we should try to exit the level, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go through every single exit point, every last one of them, and then we're going to compare. So if exit point minus, actually let's just copy this check. There we go, much better. Except with exit point rather than door. And I don't need to get transform that gets translation because, well, I don't have any of that. So yeah, I'm just going to copy. And if so, then I'm going to say game.load next level. And I'm going to have a new method for that. And yeah, I'm going to keep it using open distance. Also, while I'm at it, I did think that this distance in Medkit was a little small, so I'm going to change it to 0.75. That's purely, I don't even know why I thought of that, but you know, that's purely artistic. You can change that to whatever you like. So now let's add our new method to game. Public static void load next level. Whoops. Don't know what I did there, but okay. So I'm going to load the next level, and that's really going to be very simple. I'm going to have some private static int level num, which is going to initialize to 0. In here, level num plus plus, and then level equals new level of level plus level num plus .png. There. That's our load next level method. And yeah, right here, just going to say load next level. Right at the start, right in the constructor. Everything, if this actually might be it. This might be the end. This might be the end of the coding process. So let's test. Gonna run. Okay. Open doors. Transform. Aha, I forgot to put on all of these things. So, monster, gonna pass in false. Player, going to pass in true. I don't want monsters ending the level. You can if you want to. I just don't. And yeah, that's not the best way of doing it, but haven't we been saying that for the entire series? The whole point of this is so we can actually do the better way of doing it next time. Null pointer exception game.init. Ah, right. I want to load next level first. Okay, cool. Now we should run. Oh, here we are. We're running. Load next level's working. Dang, that guy had already saw us? Have I broken the code somehow? Oh no. It's just, I guess I didn't notice something. Alright. That's fine. Okay, I'm just going to go straight for the end. I'm not going to bother with any of the side rooms. So yeah. And do we load the next level? We crash! Wonderful! Null pointer exception. Okay. One moment. Okay, I actually made two small errors in the player class. One, I forgot to make mouse locked static, so that needs to be static. Otherwise, we need to re-input the mouse when the level loads. And the one that was causing the crash was I forgot to initialize movement vector in the player constructor. But wait, there's more! I completely forgot to bring this up, but I actually, in the game class, I moved the rest of the constructor into the load next level method. And the reason for this is, well, mostly because right here, I'm setting the camera to the player's camera. You want to do that at the start of every level, because the player's going to change at every level. And you don't need the rest of the constructor here, I just thought I'd do it anyways. So yeah, you still need that. Now back to the rest of the video. So now if I run, I should be able to go through the level. Yes, so here I am. I can get up, I can go through the level, and everything's fine. But when I try to load the next level, look at that. We are in level 2. We have multiple levels implemented. So yeah, that, my friends, is the Wolfenstein 3D clone tutorial. We have finished the series. Now, I know this isn't quite as extensive as I did in my demo, but everything I didn't show how to do, like audio and whatnot, just about all that is stuff that is going to be done in a later video in the 3D Game Engine series. So, why bother showing what our engine doesn't do, Because we're going to do it anyways, it's just we haven't done it yet. So, yeah. Now what I'm going to do after the series is done is I'm going to post all of the stuff on GitHub, including the original project, so you can play around with that if you'd like. But I will not be able to post the original assets for the same reason I've told everyone else. They're copyrighted. I can't post copyrighted material. However, there is a project on the internet called Free Doom, which is it's like Doom, except all the assets are free, are 100% freeware. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on taking the assets from that and using those. That way you can get a similar experience, but, well, you won't have to go through the big, gigantic pain of having to buy the game if you don't have it and whatnot. And yeah, so everyone can play it. Oh, I died. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Wolfenstein 3D clone tutorial series. So, let's talk for a moment. If you made it this far, then seriously, congratulations. You've put up with a lot, and you seriously have earned the result of this whole project. I mean, seriously, you put up with not only building a game with some of the most hacked-together code ever, you put up with using a game engine which is horrendously unprepared for actually creating games. You dealt with issues of proprietary assets versus free assets. You've heard me ramble on for hours about things that are completely unrelated, about me making these ridiculous notes on everything. You've been through a lot. So seriously, if you made it this far, again, I extend my congratulations. You've earned the result of the series. And with that, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned, and, well, next time can be pretty much whatever you want. You can continue with this, you can do some pretty awesome stuff with this now. Otherwise, we're going to take the big, ridiculous list of notes I made in this whole series, and we're going to apply that to the next section of the 3D Game Engine series. We're going to go into, wait for it, the engine architecture segment. That's the segment where we're going to actually apply everything we learned from the series. We're going to take all our notes from this series and all the basic classes from the 3D Game Engine series, and we're going to combine them. We're going to organize all the classes in the 3D Game Engine series in a way that actually facilitates game development, that makes it easy, that doesn't require a bunch of ridiculous hacks just to get something that works. And that's going to be our next goal. I'm not going to start that immediately. I'm going to take a week off, actually. But after that, we're going to be back up and running with the 3D Game Engine series. So, with that, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned, and I will see you next time.